Hi, I'm Jeremy Goldkorn. I'm a Danwei. Even though I've been living in China for 12 years, I remain an outsider. But what about kids who were born on the mainland and moved to the West as children? Now, thoroughly westernized, many are coming back to China to work or to study. Are they completely bicultural or caught somewhere in the middle? What do they make of modern Chinese life? And how do the friends and relatives they left behind react to them? We recently talked to three 20-somethings who left the mainland at a young age, grew up largely abroad, but have been back in Beijing for several years. Su Xiaowei, Weiwei to her friends, was born in Tianjin and moved to California's Silicon Valley at the age of 8. After graduating from college, she moved back to Beijing to work at China Central Television and China Radio International. Ken Li works at a real estate development firm in one of Beijing's sparkling new high-rises. He was born in Beijing, but moved to Los Angeles when he was 5 to join his grandfather. A former college basketball player, he is a fixture around Beijing's recreational basketball leagues. Tu Qiang is also a native-born Beijinger. His childhood was a whirlwind of globe-trotting, from the US to Australia to the world-renowned Eton School in England, where he studied with Prince William and other hoity-toity types. As a teenager, he was a co-founder of Beijing punk band Brain Failure.
Yeah.
He now freelances as a translator in Beijing.
I was born here. I left China at 9 to go to the States in Philadelphia, and then for 2 years, and then to Australia for 3 years in Adelaide. It's a town on the beach. No, it's a city on the beach for 3 years. And then I came back for 3 years. And then I went to England for 2 years. And now I've been back for, I think, 5, 6, 7 years. 7 years.
When I first got to LA, I think my whole lifetime I seen one foreigner when I was in China. I mean, one white person. Everybody was Chinese. And when I got to Santa Monica, the first person I saw was black. It scared the heck out of me, because I never heard about him, never seen him. There wasn't like CNN, or there wasn't the news back then. You know, TV had like 4 channels. So that was really weird for me. And then the first day of school, I remember I was the only Chinese person, or only Asian person, the only person that looked different from everybody else. So I climbed up a tree and hid all day.
When you were growing up, did you feel like a foreigner ever in Mountain View?
Well, there's this one time I was on the cheerleading team when I was 11. It's just like the city football team, and there's a cheerleading team that went along with it. And I was 11, and I had no idea that when you wear a tank top, you should shave your armpits. I had no idea because my mom never told me. And so I remember one time we were doing this sort of pyramid thing, and these girls were laughing at me, and I had no idea why. And then, they were pointing and kind of figured it out, and I went home. I was so pissed at my mom. I was just like, how could you do this to me? This is so embarrassing, but this is not, shaving your underarms is not something that Chinese women necessarily will do.
There was one other kid who was worse dressed than I was when I first went. He was from North Korea.
I feel American when I'm in China, but I feel Chinese when I'm in the States. Because people, no matter what you are, they'll still treat you like you're Chinese in the States. They'll just ask you certain questions about China, stuff like that. They want to make you feel like you're Chinese, which is fine, because that's what I am. But when I'm here in China, I feel like I'm American, because I grew up and I was educated in the West, and then the way we think is totally different than people think over here.
I don't know, because when people sort of get mad about, say, American politics, or start talking about different countries, people feel pride and they'll defend their own country, but I don't feel that. And maybe because I don't really like certain aspects of American culture, maybe that's why I kind of left, because it was boring. It was, I felt like it was suffocating, and so I wanted to get away from that. And so I mean, I know I'm American, but I don't really like that.
I had a feeling of always being a foreigner, but by the time it caught up with me, I moved.
Sometimes you're out of the loop, but it's pretty cool at the same time because you're supposed to be like very different, very. It's better because Chinese people call America 美国, beautiful land, beautiful country. So when you come back from there, you're supposed to be better than the Chinese people here. That's how they look at you, at least.
I think I successfully compartmentalized everything. So the things I was used to, just go on being used to. About this identity crisis that many people refer to is, I come up with a special theory that why bother putting on another mask and then try to take it off. So, with this theory in mind, I never, gone down that road, and I'm very glad that I didn't.
The working environment was really different. I felt like crying every day after I got off work, just because there was a lot of pressure on me as a foreigner there, working with Chinese people, and it's just, they have a lot of expectations of you. They think that you will know all these sort of things that I certainly don't.
They think I'm very innocent, because in America we do business by the book. It's a country that has laws. Laws protect everybody, protects you and your business. And when I first came back and to work in China, everything that you're not supposed to do, they teach you in school, is done here. So if you don't adapt to that, you don't get any business done.
Do you remember, did you feel weird going to Chinese university after being at Eton? Was it kind of a reverse culture shock of some kind?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. It was Chinese at university level, and my Chinese isn't actually up to scratch as far as university academics.
I mean, when there are imports of Western culture, foreign cultures, it kind of gets digested in a weird way, and that has whatever its own effect on Chinese culture. And then, but I feel like when people come back, when people of both cultures come back, I don't know, it's like they can kind of help guide the culture along.
And then, when you drive, I try not to cut people off, but then that doesn't really work. I mean, I try at first, but in the end, it just doesn't happen. The environment will change the people.
For now, I feel like it's doing me a lot of good to be here. So I'd like to be here until I feel like I can't take it anymore. And I think for certain people that have lived here for a long time, they know this feeling. Maybe they've become way too cynical or about life or whatever it is, that they feel like they have to leave. And if it's not doing them any good, then of course they'll leave. So I think if that ever happens to me, which I hope I don't. I mean, I hope I don't leave because I hate it here. I hope I leave because I just want more, want to see more, want to do more things.
People in LA were very laid back, especially me. I grew up at a beach. We do like 2 things a day, and then we go back, watch our TV, and then just drink our beer and just hang out. But over here, people just run around from 8 in the morning till like 10 at night. And then at 10 o'clock, they go out and party and then sleep 3-4 hours a day. So I don't know if that's what I want my kids to grow up in, because, I grew up in a different environment and I kind of liked it. And I kind of feel like if I had kids, that's how I would raise them. So, but I will always come back. I will always, have a house here, apartment here. So I will come back like 3-4 times a year.
Will I stay in China? I think so, yeah.
So you're happy living in Beijing?
Yeah, very.